Every condo owner has this nightmare scenario in the back of their mind. A leak that just won't quit, a brand new roof that's supposed to fix everything, and a drawn-out battle with the HOA. Well, today we're going to get into a real-life legal mystery that's all about that.
So let's just jump right in with a question. Picture this. Your HOA does the right thing. They're proactive, and they install a brand new roof on your building. Great, right? But then the first big storm rolls in, and you see that dreaded brown stain spreading across your ceiling. So who's on the hook for the repairs inside your condo? Is it you, or is it the association? Now, this isn't just some hypothetical question. This is the exact, frustrating situation that happened to a woman named Marsha Fagin, a condo owner down in Scottsdale, Arizona. And her story, well, it turned into a formal legal case that actually gives us some amazingly clear answers. Okay, so let's set the scene. It's December of 2005. Marsha's HOA board decides, you know what, let's replace the roofs on some of the older units to get ahead of any problems. Her unit was one of them. And here's the most important fact of all. Before this brand new roof went on, Marsha had absolutely zero leaks. None. But yeah, you can probably guess what happens next. Just 2 months after that new roof is installed, the Arizona skies just open up, and that brand new, supposedly preventative roof, well, it started causing a brand new problem. The leaks began. And we're not talking about just one little drip. I mean, look at this timeline. It was a complete nightmare that stretched out for 6 months. First, a major leak hits her ceiling and walls. Then, a new one pops up around the bathroom window. A month later, she finds a wet spot on a throw rug. Then, they trace another leak to an overhang in the AC unit. It was just this relentless, frustrating cycle of water getting in. So, you're probably wondering, what was the HOA doing this whole time? And to be fair, they weren't just sitting on their hands. You can see they sent the roofer back out multiple times, they hired painters to caulk things, they sealed the window, they even fixed a cracked air duct. They were definitely trying to fix the source of the leak. But, and this is a huge but, they also told her something crucial. We are not responsible for the repairs inside your unit. This whole thing got so bad that even the judge who eventually heard the case, Michael K. Carroll, specifically wrote it into his decision. He said that Marsha Fagin was, and I'm quoting here, understandably frustrated with the repeated water leaks. I mean, when the judge says he gets why you're upset, you know it was a really, really trying situation. So at this point, what else could she do? She's staring at damaged walls, a stained ceiling, and she's got that growing fear of mold. So she took the next step. She filed a formal legal petition against her homeowners association. The maintenance nightmare was officially a court case. Her case really boiled down to 4 main accusations. She claimed the HOA failed to properly maintain the common areas, the roof, that they didn't repair the problems fast enough, that the repairs they did do were negligent, and the big one, that because of all this, the HOA was on the hook for all the resulting damage inside her home. So, this is the million-dollar question, right? Who was right? Was it the owner dealing with all this damage, or the HOA who was actively trying to fix the source? Well, turns out the answer wasn't going to be found by climbing up on the roof again. It was hiding in plain sight, right there in the HOA's own rulebook. The entire case, literally the whole thing, came down to 2 key definitions in that rulebook, which is called the declaration. First up, the term common area. The rules define this as things like the roofs, the foundations, and the walls and ceilings that are not inside a unit. This is the HOA's responsibility to maintain. Okay, so then you have the second crucial definition, the unit. The declaration said a unit is the space inside the interior finished surface of the walls, floors, and ceilings. So think about the paint, the drywall, your carpets, your cabinets. That space, inside the paint basically, is the homeowner's responsibility. And this right here, this is the aha moment. It perfectly illustrates the whole case. On one side, you've got the HOA's job, the big stuff, the structural shell, the roof, the foundation, the outside walls. On the other side, you've got the owner's job, the interior walls, the interior ceilings, basically everything inside that finished surface. So even though the water was coming from the common area, the damage it caused was to the unit. And just in case there was any lingering doubt, Article 10 of the Declaration spelled it out in black and white. It says each unit owner shall, at his sole cost and expense, maintain and repair his unit, keeping the same in good condition. It just doesn't get much clearer than that. The responsibility for the interior was firmly and legally on the owner. So, with all the evidence presented and the rulebook laid out so clearly, the judge made his decision. Marsha Fagin's petition against her HOA was denied. Now let's look at why. The judge's logic was super methodical. He found that, look, the HOA did respond quickly and reasonably to every single complaint she made. But most importantly, he ruled that the declaration was crystal clear. The HOA is not responsible for the interior of a unit. Damage to your drywall and ceiling, that's on the owner. In fact, the judge even pointed out that the HOA had actually gone above and beyond its legal duty by paying for some earlier interior repairs. So, what can we all take away from this really unfortunate case? It boils down to 3 things. Number 1, read your governing documents. Seriously, don't wait for a crisis to find out what the rules are. Number 2, really understand those key definitions. You need to know exactly where the HOA's property ends and your private property begins. And 3, document everything. Every phone call, every email, a clear paper trail is your absolute best friend in any dispute. And that really brings us to the final and maybe most important question. After hearing Marsha's story, you've got to ask yourself, do you really know where your responsibility ends and your HOA's begins? Because knowing that answer could save you a world of time, money, and frustration. Thanks for checking this out.